Hi, in today's video, we're going to go over the wrists, some exercises and stretches you can do to improve and strengthen those wrists and to help eliminate chronic pain. So as long as you don't have an acute injury, these will be fine for you. And if this is the first time we're meeting, hi, I'm Stefana Johnson. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Ring the bell if you'd like to go live with us on our weekly sessions. In the meantime, let's get back to the wrists. These are a big topic for folks, and I love showing some very simple things that you can do to restore mobility and functionality in those wrists and not suffer from pain, especially when we start moving, practicing more yoga, if you're interested in doing more things like that. Wrists are used, hands and wrists are used a lot in our yoga. Okay, so the only thing you really need will be a towel. You can get a hand towel, you can use a t-shirt, either is going to be fine, and you can use the floor. So if you have a mat, grab a mat. Otherwise, the floor is going to be totally fine. And we'll put this towel aside first so that we can do some basic stretches. With the hands, I want you to think of the hands and the fingers part of the wrists. And one of the things that you'll want to understand is when the wrists get overworked, it's sometimes because the fingers and the knuckles and the pads of the hands aren't doing their job. So that's the first thing I'm going to teach you. When we come into this position on all fours, while we are going to be on all fours, I want you to understand that you're not putting all your weight, your upper body weight, on those wrists. In fact, if your wrists are really tender right now, you can keep your hips back a little bit further. So there's not much weight on those wrists at all. But the key to this whole balance of those wrists is to activate your fingers and the knuckles of the hands. So just right in this position, you want to begin to press your pads of your fingers into the floor. And once you've got the pads of your fingers right at the nail bed, right, the pads of those fingers in the floor, that should immediately start activating more energy and not depending on that wrist to hold you up so much. Now you're going to continue that to the first knuckle. So the first knuckle is at the base, right at the palm. And then we've got another knuckle at the middle of the finger, and then another one at the tip of the finger. So we're going to go first knuckle, second knuckle, third knuckle, pad of the hand into the floor, and we're going to practice that. All right, so first knuckles, put some energy into the floor from the first knuckles. And then the second knuckles, you're going to push those fingers down, and you're going to put the third fingers down. If you feel any kind of pain going into the wrists, ease off of that and look at where you might be putting too much imbalanced pressure on there. But we want to start restoring the connection of the fingers. Think of them like tires on a car, and you want them balanced. Once those are balanced, and you've got your thumb as well, remember the thumb, first knuckle, second knuckle, third, and pads of the fingers in there. That's the first activation there. And all we're going to do now is start to rock forward and back ever so gently. Now you want to have activation in your core and in your glutes, in your center here, so that this isn't just, your wrists are not stopping and starting you. Wrists are a joint. Muscles are what stop and start you, and it really should be stopped and started from your center when you're doing any kind of movement like this, as opposed to, let's say, if you rock this and you stop and start from your wrist joint, you will definitely perpetuate strain and pain. So this is also training your brain to use your body in a more optimal way. And now we're going to turn those hands, and maybe it won't happen today where you can turn those fingertips to face towards your knees, but we do want to work towards that. So from the forward facing fingers, we're going to start to turn them, and see if you can get them to face towards your knees. And then you'll do the rocking again with the pads of the hands, with the first knuckle, second knuckle, third knuckle active in the floor, including your thumbs. We're starting to get active through there. And then we'll take the pressure off. We're going to come up on our fingertips and strengthen our fingertips. At the pads of your fingertips, you'll be strong up And then we're going to go down one joint by one joint, all the way down to the floor. Core is still on. Remember, you're stopping and starting yourself from your muscles of your core. So you want to be zipped up at your belly and your glutes active, which may seem like, oh, well, my hips shouldn't be doing anything. Well, they should, because if they're not, then your wrists are going to have to do the stopping and starting, and that's not their job. They're just a joint there. It's the muscles that stop and start you, and you want to always stay integrated with your whole body through that. So we'll do that ideally about 10 times. If you're just starting out and this is feeling uncomfortable, just do 5 times and move through that. So that's the movement, articulating down, down, down. We're going to do one last one while we're here with the hands on the floor, and pads of the hands on the floor, pushing into those first knuckles, second knuckles, third knuckles. The hands are flat, and then we're going to just lift up one finger, then the next, then the next. We're going to try to lift the fingers off the floor, but keep the pads of your hands on the floor. Remember, shoulders relaxed. And we'll just do that 10 times. So you're just lifting, lifting, lifting. This whole sequence shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes if you're just doing about 10 of them each. And then you can bring your hands off that, and you probably already feel that circulation flowing through there. All right, grab your towel. And all we're going to do is just wring out the towel, nice and easy. And so we're just going to do 10 rings, wringing out the towel, wringing out the towel. So you can see how my wrist is wringing out the towel. You've got a little bit, doesn't have to be a lot of tension, but there's a little bit of proprioceptive feedback so that you can feel all of that stretching all the way up through the forearms there, okay? And so that is a sequence that you can do 3 to 4 times a week to improve the wrists. All right. Until next time, maybe try out some of the Qigong movements that we do that can help restore circulation to those wrists. And check out some of the other videos I have. Again, subscribe and like this video. Let me know in the comments below how it worked for you. Until next time, hydrate, stay happy, keep moving.